Scusatemi tanto.
Oops. I'm so sorry.
I believe you know someone. And who is this person you see that has brought you here to see me? My name's Jackson King. My name's Jackson King. I'm going to find Lee.
To do what? To get revenge? There's nothing you could have done to keep her alive.
Dear United Nation, can you tell, one day in history, the freedom of conscience, the freedom of thought, and the freedom of opinion have been Catholic options? Would you mind to ask the Italian specialists? To tell, one day in history, the freedom of conscience, the freedom of thought, and the freedom of opinion have been Catholic options.
Scusatemi tanto.
Oops. I'm so sorry. Dear United Nation, can you tell, one day in history, the freedom of conscience, the freedom of thought, and the freedom of opinion have been Catholic options?
That has brought you here to see me.
Oops. I'm so sorry.
My name's Jackson King.
Oops. I'm so sorry. Oops. I'm so sorry.
To do what? To get revenge? There's nothing you could have done to keep her alive.
Dear United Nations, the evidence is 10 out of 10 specialists of Italian culture pretending the democratic values are Catholic legacy. And I wonder,
Scusatemi tanto.
what a kind of conscience may pretend to confuse the victims and the persecutors of the democratic values, starting from the freedom of conscience and the freedom of thought. Dear United Nations, the problem in Italy is not wiretapping, but the school textbooks, black and white.
Scusatemi tanto.
The problem is not wiretapping, but the Catholic mafia and the Catholic revisionism. The problem is not wiretapping, but the cultural primacy, the traditional habit, racist, to pretend to abort people alive, like acts of God.
At the roots of international terrorism, now on BBC Two. In the first of 3 programmes, Time Watch traces the often brutal work and political influence of the Gladio network of secret agents.
The problem is not wiretapping, but the Catholic mafia and the Catholic revisionism. The problem is the Holocaust, the fascist left behind have organized after World War II. The problem is a democracy pretending the democratic values are Catholic legacy.
Scusatemi tanto.
Oops. I'm so sorry.
My name's Jackson King.
To do what? To get revenge?
Dear United Nations, the honourable professors in the picture of my degree ceremony did not confirm the legal translation of my university degree, with marks with their signature on it, and made me do the impression of the imposter. And the police inspector, reporting the details of my passport with his signature and stamps on it, later confirms I was cancelled from the population list, since before the passport was issued, before the inspector made the report and signed it. Dear United Nations, what matter wiretapping when people is aborted alive with signatures, stamps and pictures? What matter wiretapping when the prosecutors systematically vanish evidences and witnesses in the court of justice, like acts of God, like the grampa did, the teachers of the Nazi. And I also like to remark, after they abort people or life in the office, they also pretend the rights to accuse their victims to have good reasons to organize revenge, and will pretend to accuse their victims and torment their victims more and more, like their grandpa did, the teachers of the Nazi. Dear United Nations, the problem in Italy is not wiretapping, but the higher morality above the laws. And for consequence, some people may have confirmation of fake documents, and some other cannot have confirmation of their original ones, and cannot even denunciate the mobsters faking documents in the public offices. What matter wiretapping when people is aborted alive, with signatures, stamps, and pictures? Oops!